Hi guys, in this lesson I will explain how I have filled in the personal data analysis form. I have started the project by interviewing top management and operational executives, trying to understand how they do their job and how they may interact with personal data. I am not using a specific questionnaire, I am building the questions based on their answers. You have to listen a lot in this part of the project. Do not provide any information, just try to listen. Nothing they do is good or bad in this moment before you do the proper analysis, so do not provide any recommendation in this moment. Coming back to the document, it is important to decide what are the business processes that can process personal data. Also, if the same business process handles multiple personal data items, if there is any change in the columns related to the purpose, sensitivity or consent, then this should be treated separately. It's not only those three columns, it can be any column. So if you have a change, then treat them separately in a separate row. If there is the same content that you will fill for all multiple personal data, it can be 1, 2 or 3, then bundle them in a single row. You may see in rows number 10 and 11 that HR contracts signed between the company and the existing employees include name and salary as personal data. I have treated them separately because the name is actually obtained from the data subject itself through the personal ID. There is no consent needed for HR contracts, but processing clauses should be added in the contract. The first business process related to the sales or partnership relationship means that business cards exchanged and gathered from customers or prospective customers include personal data that will be kept and also used for different purposes by the sales team, including marketing or different announcements. This is not considered business data because if there is a contract between the two parties, the contract includes the CEO's data probably, or any person with signature power. Each and every employee data is considered personal data even in the business environment, so care should be taken here, like where do you keep it, is there any CRM in place, is the CRM managed internationally, where is the database, etc. Going further, an interesting thing to mention related to the recruiting activities was the fact that HR representative working at the headquarters receives resumes from an external agency and schedules interviews with candidates. Those CVs will always stay on email server that is hosted in a different country at the headquarters than the country people are applying to, which in this case is France. As a general rule, I am always trying to point out where legitimate interests could be taken into account, and I leave that responsibility to the customer because I tend to refuse to recommend something like that due to different legislations mismatches or particularities in different countries. If you do not have a legal guide that knows country-specific legislation, keep it as a point to be considered. Be aware of the video surveillance cameras and review the contract with the physical security company. This is considered sensitive information by GDPR, and you need to be aware about storage and retention period. That's all for this file. Take a look at all the fields in here, and if there is any question, do not hesitate to write in the Q&A area. See you in the next lesson.